All right, welcome back. So we're again looking at conditionals for lesson 5, and we're looking at the practice activities, and this one happens to be drop soup. And what we have is it says add a conditional if statement in the draw loop to make it look like the soup spills out of the bowl when it turns upside down like the image to the right. So if you notice there's soup in there, and then when it hits a certain point, it's gone. Okay, so if we run this right now, the soup moves and the soup stays in the bowl. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to add an if statement to this down here so that when it does make that turn, it's going, when it eventually turns to a certain point, it's going to have the stew come out of the bowl. So we're going to add an if statement, and because of the way this is working, what we're really wanting to do is look at the rotation of the sprite. So what we want to say is if that sprite, as it's rotating, when it reaches a certain point of rotation, we want to have the soup disappear or change the animation. So right now we have soup and it has stew in there. I am guessing that if we have another one, we just have bowl, which we do. So we're going to give this a try. What we're going to do is we are going to add a math first, because what we want to do is say if something is greater than, and since we're dealing with the rotation, we're going to assume that once that rotation hits a certain number, so if you think of the soup bowl up here, right here, oops, doesn't like my if statement right now in there. If it is pointing up, and once that rotation hits the bottom, we want it to disappear, and then when it goes back, or when it does it, then it's going to drop that. So what we're going to do is take the soup dot rotation, and let's say 180, because 180, 0 is going to be up, 180 is going to be down. So we'll do 180. Once it's greater than that, then what we want to do is we want to change the animation of the sprite. And you got to make sure you type in soup in there, and we're going to make it bowl. So now what happens is if the soup rotation hits greater than 180, it's going to load a different sprite animation. It's currently set to stew. It's going to load to bowl. So let's go ahead and run that. So here we go. Drops it out of the bowl, and that's it. Now, if we wanted to, we could set up another condition here, and later on we will do things like this with else, so that something's going to constantly be happening, and so it would eventually, once it gets back to like 0, it would then put the stew back in there, but we don't have that in this particular instance. All right, hopefully that helps you, and good luck with your coding.